Well, here we are again at Lupins Farm annual rally. Rolled round again, can't believe it, 2013. And a bumper turnout of people. I just do not know where they've all come from. Absolutely wonderful. Last year and the year before we took just over £9,250. And so this year I'm hoping, you don't know, we might just make the 10. I hope anyway we do. But I think Mr. Reynolds here is going to have a little interview with one or two people around with their classic cars, and they'll tell you all about their treasures, and just sit back and enjoy.
Hello there, my name's Gary Iredale. This is my friend Sally Gadsby. And this car over here is Jupiter. It's a Renault Laguna. I've had it a couple of months, and we're taking part in a charity scrappage rally over in Norfolk in a couple of weeks' time. The idea is just decorate your car as silly as possible, and there's various challenges along the way, and it's all for charity really. We start from Norfolk over to Wales, then up to the Lake District. All kinds of silliness happen along the way, and then we return to Norfolk and we have a test with the cars, wheel spinning, handbrake turns, that kind of stuff, and they end up getting destroyed. But it's all in the name of charity really, and Sally here did most of the paintwork really. She's certainly the artist.
The theme's supposed to be heroes, so that's why we chose Fireman Sam. Fireman
Sam, because he is the hero next door.
Hello, my name is Bradley Cooper. I come from Norton Keynes in Cannock, Staffordshire, and this is my dragster here. It's a 1960s replica of a classic American slingshot design. It runs a Ford flathead. It's about 4.7 litres and it runs on methanol. It'll pull about 130 mile an hour in a quarter of a mile in about 10 seconds. It was built at home by myself and my father. As you can see, there's nothing bought on the car. It's all been painted in the garage at home. The engine was built by myself and my father, so was the transmission. The transmission was built at the Automatic Gearbox Company in Hilton, Derby. We specialise in all automatic transmissions, industrial, marine and automotive. It's a specially modified transmission. It runs a trans brake, uprated torque converter and clutches. The engine, everything for the engine came from the United States of America, so did the slicks, the tyres and the front wheels. Hopefully next year I shall get it into the 9-second bracket at about 140 mile an hour. It's the best thrill of my life and I really enjoyed building the car, and I love it.
Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. My fist got hard, my wrist got keen. Roam from town to town to hide my shame.
Hello, my name's Mick Taylor. I own a 61 Chevrolet Suburban. It was brought over from California about 7 years ago. It was matte black with a manual gearbox and a 6-cylinder engine. I've since put a V8 in, which is called a small block Chevrolet, automatic transmission. I've upgraded the suspension, the brakes, the interior, the body, really gone through it, and it's in regular use now. It's a rare vehicle in England because it's each set of windows are sliding windows, so each person has got ventilation and cool air. It's what was used in the day in 1961 in America. It's the equivalent to a people carrier now, so it would have been used for construction workers, Boy Scout groups, anything where more than a few people had to be moved. So I think it's about a 9-seater. It's got 3 sets of seats.
I'm Richard Smith. This is my car. It's a 1993 Morgan, one of 224 made with a 1600 Ford EFI engine in it. And I have been racing, sprinting and hill climbing it, but in June 2012 I had a bit of a fall at Aintree. I fell at Beecher's Brook and completely demolished the car. So in the winter of 2012, early 2013, I totally rebuilt it, stripped the whole car down to its bare chassis, straightened it, glued the various bits of wing back together which had broken. They're fiberglass wings on this model, and got it back on the road in March of this year. But I now have hung up my crash helmet. I don't race or sprint anymore, sadly.
My name is Paul Haig, this is my wife Leslie. We've had this Stag now for 13 years. It's been fully restored, engine and bodywork. It's been to Italy, it's been to France, it's been to Southern Ireland, it's been to Cornwall. We've probably done about 40,000 miles since we bought it. We've had a really, really good time. It's a magic car. It's been fully restored. It's had the engine rebuilt by a friend of mine. It's also had the body restored as well, but the actual interior is original to the car. 1972, and it's original 3-litre engine.
This car is a Luego Velocity, manufactured in 2007. I built it in 2001 as a kit and built it from there. It's had many modifications. Currently it's got a 2-litre Pinto in it, running on electronic ignition and bike carbs. It's quite quick. It weighs about 600 kilos. So most cars you can beat off the lights. It brakes very quickly. It handles well, fairly comfortable. They don't look it. Pleasure to drive for the weekends.
Have you read it? No, I haven't. What's that they were talking about? Yeah. The last bit I had was No. You don't on the top? Yeah, that's right. Is that one of the only top? You go on the top side.
This car was bought as a kit, and it was built using a Sierra donor car, a 1983 2-litre donor, put into this body. Built by myself in 1995. It's called a Robin Hood S7. It's a Lotus 7 inspired sports car from the 1960s, which was driven by Patrick McGowan in the programme called The Prisoner years ago. That's where the car originated from. These are replicas of those cars.
This is a Robin Hood 7, belongs to Mr. Kevin Lee over there. Purchased this about a year ago, and we've done nothing but rebuild it for the last 12 months. Everything's been changed. The suspension, front suspension, is now independent suspension. Steering wheel has been converted to so you can lift it off because you can't get his belly in. And basically everything's been done. Suspension, the brakes. There's probably 1,500 hours been spent on it already. When you first purchased this was in race trim. It did about 6 to the gallon. So we've taken the twin Deco 40 Webers off it, and it's got a single 2836 downdraft Weber on it now to bring it down and make it more economical, because it was only, say, doing 6 to the gallon.
My name's Lee Allen. This is an Austin Ambassador from 1983. It was rescued from a scrapyard where it had been sat in the garage for the last 12 years, and I put it on the road this year. It's taxed MOT'd, and it's a lovely car to drive. I've just basically recommissioned it for the road. New MOT, new tyres, and away she goes. She was rescued from the garage, and basically it started up straight from the key, no problem.
My name's Dave Masters. It's a 63 Morris Minor, been couped. It's got a Fiat twin cam in it with a 5-speed box. Got a narrowed Cortina axle, RS2000 diff. I've had it 2 years now. It stood 10 years before I had it on the seafront at Wales. I've done quite a lot of work on it, but I think I've got to the stage now where I've stopped. Just have some fun with it. It's a Morris Minor, and when I bought it back there was no floor in it, so it was a bit of a crisis to me.
I'm Dave Walton. I own this delightful Mayflower standing at the side of us. The Mayflower's built in '51, so it's 62 years old now. It had actually spent a very long time sitting in a crumbling garage that was falling down around it. It went in '64 and I dragged it out 4 years ago. So it wasn't in a very pretty condition. In fact, there wasn't all that much of it left. So over the last 3 years it's seen a fair amount of attention. Obviously, it doesn't look now like it did when it came out of the garage. It is in fact the third Mayflower I've owned. It's become something of a habit. The first one I owned was in 1963 when it was just a 10-year-old car, all I could afford. I then had another one in the 70s which I was going to restore. I guaranteed 6 months. 7 years later it came out of the garage, restored. Life's always like that, it never runs smoothly in anything we do, I suppose. So here we are, gentlemen, the Triumph Mayflower, 60 odd years old, going strong.
It's a 1954 renown, one of the last built, and I've had it since 1980, and it was recommissioned about 93 when I got it back on the road. Basically it's been a good runner. Basically it's quite a nice car, very stately.
In a week it'll be on.
My name's Robert Hodgkinson. The car is a Rover Light 20 dating from 1930. I'm the fourth or fifth owner of the car and I've had it for about 5 years now. The car doesn't have its original body. This body was built for it in the early 1950s and it's a unique body and of particular interest are the headlights which come from a Rover Meteor and they're very Art Deco. The car runs quite happily at 50 miles an hour all day long. She'll climb most hills and she's good fun.
I'm Martin Carnell and this is a 2025 Rolls-Royce made in 1930. It was owned by a German industrialist and it was sent to Berlin in the 1930s by train and it was there until just before the war. And it's an owner-driver's car. That meant it didn't have a chauffeur, but so the guy drove it himself and it had no petitions whatsoever. I've always wanted a car, a vintage car, and I just joined the Rolls-Royce Enthusiast Club because I decided I wanted a Rolls-Royce and just looked at their adverts and eventually found this down in Kent. It was a bit of a trek to get it back because when we was bringing it back, the battery was flat. The petrol gauge didn't work and other things like that. And we'd left the handbrake on once and the back wheel caught fire, so we had to stop and we miscalculated the petrol in the tank and it was only a 14-gallon tank instead of an 18-gallon tank and it ran out of petrol halfway home and we had quite an adventure bringing it back.
Hi, my name is Philip Bentley. This is my car. It's a 1963 Mercury Monterey. I've had it about 3 years now. We've done a lot of work to it. It's a beautiful thing. Blue and white and a very low mileage on it. Excellent condition. We do a lot of work for charity, raise money for Macmillan Cancer, and you know, it's really nice. Beautiful thing, nice hobby. I imported this from Denver in Colorado. I bought it on eBay without seeing it and took a chance, but I've never looked back. It cost me about $2,500. We've had a complete body respray, we've had the engine out, that's been completely rebuilt. It's we've done various other bits and pieces to it, but the interior is original and yeah, we use it as much as we possibly can.
I'm Michael Licorice, I come from Tamworth. I bought this 1970. It stood 7 years in a yard in Bromsgrove. It was absolutely green from under the trees. At the time I stripped all the paint off the exterior and painted it, but it's lasted up till last year, and I acquired another body and on the back half new body. The front half at the moment is still the original. But this is built by Austin. With the first few hundred were built with Rolls-Royce engines. After that, Austin built them under licence.
Well, here we are. It's the end of a great day again. Once Lupin Farm rally, absolutely splendid. 2013. I'm very, very pleased. It looks to me like we've taken over £10,000. Tonight will be the big count of which we really know. 2 charities will benefit. That'll be the air ambulance and the local hospice near Lichfield. So a good cause, both good causes. We've used them both on the farm here, and everyone seems to have enjoyed themselves. As you can see, people are on their way going home now. Let's hope they eat some roast pork tonight and help me out and make a profit for myself. Okay, until next year. Thank you.